Hey guys, welcome back to another amazing DIY braided wig tutorial. In today's video, I'll be doing a DIY full lace braided wig and I'll be using my full lace cap. So I've seen a lot of people customize this and I haven't thought of that because I don't have a sewing machine. So I'm using the pre-made one for this tutorial, and if you are wondering where you can find this to buy, I have them available on my page at Wigs by Sharon for sales. So first, I'm just basically going to wear the wig cap on my mannequin head, and you want to be very careful because the way it is being sewn, you are most likely going to make a mistake and probably ventilate the wrong part. You want to be sure that the parts with the hook inside is the parts that is going to be inside, so you don't end up working on the wrong part of the cap. So I'm just basically arranging the cap on the mannequin head because, as you can see, the mannequin head already has my hairline on it, and this gives me an insight of how the cap is going to be on my head. So you want to make sure you arrange it properly on your mannequin head, especially when you already customized your hairline on it. So you want to ensure that the elastic band at the back is on top of your ear. Okay, so you can see that line that looks like the curve of my ear, so I'm going to just drag it upward so the elastic band is on top of the line, because that's how it's going to be on my head. You want to also ensure that the cap is properly stretched out so you don't have any folded parts. So I'm going to be placing my tape on the line that illustrates where my ear starts from to the other end where the other ear starts from, to get the length in between both ears, so I can also get the mid part of my head. So the length in between both ears measured 13 inches, meaning that the mid part is going to be at the 6.5 inch, which I'll be marking with my lip liner. I'm also going to be using my meter rule to measure a straight middle part on the points that I marked with the lip liner. Next, I'll be dividing both sides into two equal parts, and I'll be dividing 6.5 inch into 2, which is approximately 3.3 inches. I'm also going to be dividing the parts in the middle into 2 parts each, meaning 4 in total. So I would have about 6 braids at the front of the cap. I'm also going to be measuring the length of the silk top so I can divide it into 3 equal parts. So the silk top measured 9 inches, meaning each part is going to be 3 inches. Next, I'll be measuring the back from the point where it is sharing a border with the front to the other point, so I can get the total length and also divide it into the number of braids that I want. So the back measured 10.5 inch and I'm dividing it into 4 parts, and that's approximately 2.6 inches. And I'm also going to be dividing the 2 parts in the middle into 2 other parts, making it 6 braids at the back. So I'm going to have a total of 15 braids. So next, I'm going to be dividing the borders into 2 parts. The reason I'm doing this is to give it a scarf-like effect so that the sewn areas won't be seen after ventilation. While ventilating, I'm going to be sharing the borders between the braids that are sharing the borders. Okay, I'm trying my best to explain what I'm doing here, and I hope you understand. So while I'm ventilating, I'm not going to ventilate the border to go over to one side of the braid. I'm going to be sharing it between the 2 braids that are sharing the borders. So next, I'm going to be marking out my hairline on the cap because I'll be ventilating with a plastic bag, and that way I won't be able to see my hairline. But for this, I'm not really following my hairline. I'm actually following the hairline on the cap and also following my hairline. So there are some parts where I have to follow my actual hairline, and there are some parts where I have to follow the hairline that came with the cap. So I'm going to start ventilating, and I'm going to be using my braiding hair to ventilate, and I want to do like a mini ventilation tutorials for those of you who may not know how to ventilate. So first, you want to pass your ventilating needle through one hole and bring it out from the other. Then you pick your hair and drag it down to hold it with your thumb and index finger. Then you bring it out from the hole gently, and you want your needle or the ventilating hook to be facing downwards, facing the direction of the hole, so you don't pick the lace while bringing out the needle. So you want to maintain equal tension between both sides so you don't end up dragging one side more than you're dragging the other. Next, you wrap your hair around the ventilating needle and you turn it to face downwards towards the hole that you are bringing the hair out from, and you drag it out. So I'll be ventilating 5 lines on each side of the box of the braid. Okay, normally I used to do about 2 or 3 lines when I'm doing small braids, but because this is like a very big braid, you want to ensure that you're covering the space inside, and to do that you have to ventilate as much line as possible, and I would recommend 5 lines. So I'm done ventilating the sides of the box, and this is what it's looking like so far. So what I'll be doing now is to fill the space inside, like just cantily do some ventilation inside. I later realized that this step wasn't necessary and you can skip it if you want. So guys, I just finished doing about 14 of the braid and I have just one left, so I want to like show you guys what it looks like so far. So this is basically what I was trying to explain when I was dividing the border. So you can see that I ventilated half of the border towards one braid and the other half is still remaining for this last braid. So I'm going to be ventilating it for this half braid. So this is just basically to give it a scalp-like effect because you don't want to see the parts where the lace was sewn. So next I'm going to start doing my knotless braids, and I'm basically just preparing my braiding hair. So next I divided my braiding hair into smaller parts, and the size depends on the size of the braid that you want to do. So next I'm going to be using my edge control gel to bring all the hairs together and tame any fly away or fly over. So to do your knotless braids, first you want to ensure that you're placing the hair in a way that you can't see the space inside. So after doing about 2 or 3 crossing, you want to take your braiding hair and place it behind the hair in the second position and the one in the third position. So after crossing again, you want to also take another braiding hair and repeat the same process till you get the desired thickness of the braids. So you want to continue repeating this process until you get to the length and the thickness that you want. So when you notice that the thickness is reducing and you haven't gotten to your desired length, you can keep adding to maintain the thickness until you get to your desired length. So since I'm not braiding till the end, I'm going to be tying the end of the braids after getting my desired length. So before tying, you want to add some edge control. So I forgot to do that for this first braid, but I did it for the other ones, and it's very necessary. So this is what the first braid looks like, and I'm going to be doing the other ones off camera, and I'll come back to show you guys the finished look. So this is what the wig is looking like after braiding all the hairs, and I think it's looking great. I don't know what you think. You can let me know what you think in the comment section, but I think I killed this. Okay. So next I'm going to be coiling the ends of the braids using my sewing thread, and I'm just basically going to pick about 3 or 4 braids that are of same length and bring the ends together. Next, I'm going to tightly tie the sewing thread at the top part of the ends of the braid where I tied the braids. So I'm going to do that, and next I'm going to loosely wrap the thread around the part where I want to be coiled. When I get to the end, I'm going to drag the thread. So next you want to tightly tie the ends. So I'm going to be repeating the same procedure for the other braids, and I'll come back to show you guys the finished look. So I finished the coiling process and I dipped the braids in hot water, and I'm about to unravel them. So guys, we've come to the end of the video, and this is what the wig is looking like. I was really excited when I finished this stuff. Okay, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think I smashed this, or you think I should do better? So I'm going to be doing an installation video as usual to show you guys what the wig looks like on me. So if you want to see that, stay tuned. So please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and share to your friends and everyone, and also subscribe to my channel if you're not yet a subscriber if you want to see more of this kind of content. Okay, so thanks for watching and bye.